amazing in the 30s under Ray Palmer, was hugely successful, and had as little to do with story values as current issues of Isaac Asimov's. In Palmer's case, you had incident, 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 incident. You had 15,000 words of action, but it wasn't really a story. You're likely to get the same thing in a current literary SF periodical, and that certainly is Asimov's, except it won't be all action, it'll all be character. And idea. My taste is for story.
Along those lines, does anyone out of the current generation of writers stand out on story?
No, that's an interesting. Look, for just pure storyteller, you're not going to find a better one than Dave Weber. You really aren't. He and I are doing very different things, and I could quarrel with his technique, but he is a wonderful storyteller. I mean, he really understands, and he is successful for very darn good reason. He is really that much better than most of the people out there. I'm not going to lose the fact that I am a history and Latin major and a lawyer. And my stuff is never, I will do intricate plotting with anybody, but my stuff isn't going to move like Dave Weber's. And, I think I'd have to say, yeah, Dave Weber stands out.
While it's almost a non sequitur, what is it with lawyers and writing science fiction? I'm thinking of Tom Kratman in particular right here.
Tom Kratman, Terry Brooks, Dave Cherry, the artist, is a recovering lawyer like me. There's a few of us. I'll tell you, well, two things. One, law school will teach you the importance of logic. And there ought to be cheaper and easier ways to get that. But in my opinion, they don't usually work. Graduate from Duke Law School, and I guarantee you will understand logic. The other thing is that the law is a literate profession. Your work is with words. I had a funny, back in the 70s, I was reading three kinds of magazines simultaneously. I was reading photography magazines, gun magazines, and motorcycle magazines. And I learned something. Photography magazines, and I think you would find this pretty common in computer magazines also, are written by people whose first language is not English, and indeed is not a language. And they read like that. You have expert photographers who really, and I assume this is after they've been heavily edited, are still, very, very difficult to understand where they were coming from. But the work speaks for itself. Gun magazines were written in pedestrian but competent prose. Motorcycle magazines were written by people who really were literate, who loved words, who loved the feel of words as they loved motorcycles. And I don't read car magazines, so I can't tell you if that was true there. But I will tell you, it was a very noticeable spread. Lawyers love words.
I can't show you the clip, but Tom Kratman made a comment yesterday in his interview that he wanted me to play for you, and I apologize for not being able to do so. But it was that he had visited your home, and it was military from top to bottom.
And he doesn't even know where I keep the revolvers stashed at each door. I said I don't always. You've just had an example of why I usually want to think before I say something.
He was looking forward to your reaction.
He got it.
To wrap up, is there anything you would care to say to the troops and our other readers?
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, I was with the Black Horse. We were, by any standards, an elite unit, an extremely good unit. We were the people who developed the Thunder Run. I'm very proud of my service. When the Second Gulf War started, and this is really stupid, but I heard this from a couple of friends in the same situation. I really, really wished that I could go back and serve. Not that I had a duty to, but just I ought to be there. And then the armored cavalry made that run to Baghdad airport, and then later Thunder runs through the center of Baghdad, and that is what broke Saddam Hussein's regime. And I thought, shit, these people don't have anything to learn from me. They're better than we ever were. And people, I salute you. I don't want your job. I didn't want your job when I had it. But by God, you're the best in the world.